ஹாய் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், வெல்கம் டு CNR இங்கிலீஷ் அகாடமி. இன்றைக்கி வீடியோவில் நியூவாக ஒரு ஸ்கெடியூல் ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகுது. ஆல்ரெடி பிஜிடிஆர்பிக்கு நம்ம சண்டே ஸ்பெஷல் அப்படின்ற டாப்பிக்கில் பிஜிடிஆர்பி ஃபுல் சிலபஸ் கவர் ஆகிறது போல் MCQs கொடுத்துருந்தோம். அதாவது யூனிட் வைஸ் கவர் ஆகும். அதே மாதிரி இது ஒரு நியூ ஸ்கெடியூல். இதில் ஸ்பெஷல் சண்டே அப்படின்ற நேமில் பார்ட் வைஸ் உங்களுக்கு எவ்ரி சண்டே மார்னிங் நீங்கள் ரிசீவ் பண்ணுவீங்க. இந்த MCQs எந்த எக்ஸாம்ஸுக்கானது அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, இப்போ கால் பண்ணியிருக்கக்கூடிய காலேஜ் டிஆர்பின்னு சொல்லப்படுற அசிஸ்டண்ட் ப்ரொஃபஸர் எக்ஸாம் அண்ட் ஆல் ஸ்டேட் செட் எக்ஸாம்ஸு, அதாவது தமிழ்நாடு செட் எக்ஸாம், ஆந்திரா செட்டு, கேரளா செட்டு, பஞ்சாப் செட்டு, டெல்லி செட் எக்ஸாம்ஸ். ஸோ ஆல் ஸ்டேட் செட் எக்ஸாம்ஸ் அண்ட் ஆல்சோ ஃபார் நெட் எக்ஸாம்ஸ். ஸோ உங்கள் எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும், அதோட போர்ஷன்ஸு ஹோல் சம் ஆஃப் லிட்ரேச்சர் கவர் ஆகிருக்கும் இல்லைங்களா. அதில் வரக்கூடிய MCQs பார்ட்டு. ஸோ இந்த மெத்தட் பார்த்திங்கன்னா, ஒரு கொஸ்டின்னு அண்ட் தென் அதுக்கு வரக்கூடிய 4 ஆப்ஷன்ஸு அண்டு அந்த கொஸ்டின்ஸுக்கு ரிலேட்டடான பாயிண்ட்ஸ் டு பாண்டர். ஸோ இந்த இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்ஸ் எல்லாம் நம்ம ஒரு வாரமும் பார்ட் வைஸ் பார்க்கலாம். ஓகே, ஆன் தட் ஃபைன் நோட் மூவ் ஆன் டு த ஃபஸ்ட் பார்ட் ஆஃப் ஸ்பெஷல் சண்டே. ஃபஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின்: The circulating libraries were popular during. Options are the 19th century, the 17th century, the 18th century, none of these. Correct option, option C, the 18th century. So first question order, related points. Circulating libraries were popular in the 18th and 19th centuries and were located in large and small communities. Often they were operated out of stores that sold other items such as newspapers and books. Next one. Look Back in Anger by J. Osborne was performed in the year dash. Options 1955, 1958, 1957, 1956. Correct option, option D, 1956. And the related points are: Look Back in Anger, play in 3 acts by John Osborne, performed in 1956 and published in 1957. Next one. Who said a thought to done was an experience, it modified his sensibility? Options: F.R. Lewis, T.S. Eliot, Samuel Johnson, I.A. Richards. Correct option, option B, T.S. Eliot. And the related point is, Eliot's apparent appreciation of Donne's ability to unify intellectual thought and the sensation of feeling demonstrates that he believes dissociation of sensibility to be a hindrance in the progression of poetry. Next one. The Great Tradition was written by dash. Options: G. Wilson Knight, T.S. Eliot, F.R. Lewis, Alan Tate. Correct option, option C, F.R. Lewis. And the related point is, The Great Tradition is a book of literary criticism written by F.R. Lewis, published in 1948 by Chatto and Windus. Next question. A Reed Shaken by the Wind is written by dash. Options: W.H. Auden, Tim May, T.S. Eliot, Gavin Maxwell. Correct option, option D, Gavin Maxwell. And the related points are, Maxwell presents his impressions of these secluded people along with numerous photos, all those intended as a travel book. Next one. Literature always anticipates life. It does not copy it but molds it to its purpose, was said by dash. Options: Oscar Wilde, Ezra Pound, Coleridge, Aristotle. Correct option, option A, Oscar Wilde. The related point is, Literature always anticipates life. It does not copy it but molds it to its purpose. Literature emerges out of life and records our dreams and ideas, hopes and aspirations, failures and disappointments, motives and passions, and experience and observations. Next one. Which among the following gods and goddesses take sides in the Trojan was in Iliad? Options: Athena, Aphrodite, Zeus, all the above. Correct option is option D, all the above. And the related point is, Apollo, Artemis, Ares, Athena and Zeus sided with the Trojans. Hera, Poseidon, Hermes and Hephaestus sided the Greeks. Next one, New Testament as dash books, and the options are 27, 29, 31, 33. Correct option A 27. The related point is, the New Testament contains 27 books written in Greek by 15 or 16 different authors between 50 CE and 120 CE. That is in Christian era. It can be divided into 4 groups: Gospels, Acts and the Apostles, Epistles and Apocalypse. The New Testament contains 4 Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. Next one, France standing on the top of nature, seemed born again. These lines are from dash. Options are the Prelude, Daffodils, Tintin Abbey, none of these. Correct option A, the Prelude. And the related points are, the Prelude, autobiographical epic poem in blank verse by William Wordsworth, published posthumously in 1850. Originally planned as an introduction to another work, the poem is organized into 14 sections or books. Wordsworth first began work on the poem in about 1798. Next info. And it would absorb him intermittently for the next 40 years, as can be seen in the fact that the poem went through 4 distinct manuscript versions, that is 1798 to 1799, 1805 to 1806, 1818 to 1820 and 1832 to 1839. Next one, which of the following of G.B. Shaw was prescribed because of its portrayal of sexual exploitation? Options are Widower's Houses, Mrs. Warren's Profession, The Philanderer, Buoyant Billions. Correct option B, Mrs. Warren's Profession. And the related point is, Warren's Profession, play in 4 acts by George Bernard Shaw, written in 1893, published in 1894 but not performed until 1902 because of government censorship. Next one, Shelley's Queen Mab is about dash. Options are religious persecution, domestic bondage, both A and B, none of these. Correct option C, both A and B, that is religious persecution and domestic bondage. And the related point is, Shelley's first major poem written in blank verse is a utopian political epic. It exposes social evils such institutions as monarchy, commerce and religion, and that describes a visionary future in which humanity is liberated from all such vices. Next one, the quintessence of Ibsenism was written by dash. Options are G.B. Shaw, Oscar Wilde, R.L. Stevenson, none of these. Correct option is option A, G.B. Shaw. And the related point is, the quintessence of Ibsenism is an essay written in 1891 by George Bernard Shaw, providing an extended analysis of the works of a Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen and of Ibsen's critical reception in England. Next one, the prefaces of Shaw to his own plays are very popular dash. Options are yes, no, perhaps, none of these. Correct option A, yes. Why? Because in his preface to Plays Pleasant, Shaw tells his readers that a further reason for writing plays was his desire to prove that there was a real movement for a new drama in England, but to his readers there were new and surprising. The theatre, Shaw went on, was increasing in its social importance. Next one, the novel No Name, which was written in the year 1862, was written by dash. Options Anthony Trollope, Charles Kingsley, Wilkie Collins, none of these. Correct option C, Wilkie Collins. And the info is, No Name is a novel by Wilkie Collins, first published in 1862. Illegitimacy is a major theme of the novel. It was originally serialized in Charles Dickens magazine all the year round before book publication. Next one, Shakespeare's sonnets were printed by dash. Options are Thomas Thorpe, Ben Jonson, Francis Beaumont, John Fletcher. Correct option A, Thomas Thorpe. And the info is, On May 20th, 1609, a publisher named Thomas Thorpe entered a book entitled Shakespeare's Sonnets into Library of the Stationers' Company. Shakespeare's collection of 154 poems in the English sonnet form was first published in 1609. Next one. The year 1776 was associated with dash. Options are invention of a steam engine, the War of Roses, American independence, none of these. Correct option C, American independence. And the info is, it is also called United States of Independence or American Revolutionary War, dated 1775 September 3rd, location United States, and the participants are Dutch Republic, France, Loyalist Spain, United Kingdom, United States, and American colonies. And the major events are Battle of Brandywine, Battle of Bunker Hill, Battle of Monmouth, Battle of Saratoga, Battle of Bemis Heights. And the key peoples are Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Jean McCraw, George Washington, and Bernardo de Galvez. Next one. Who is an 18th century author, essayist, and a painter? One of the paintings is still in National Portrait Gallery. Options are Joseph Addison, Bacon, Hazlitt, W.M. Thackeray. Correct option C, Hazlitt. And the related point is, William Hazlitt was an English essayist, drama and literary critic, painter, social commentator, and philosopher. He is now considered one of the greatest critics and essayists in the history of the English language, placed in the company of Samuel Johnson and George Orwell. Next one. What is Everyman? Options are essay by Lamb, essay by Bacon, a morality play, a comedy. Correct option C, a morality play. And the info is, Everyman, an English morality play of the 15th century, probably a version of a Dutch play, which was given in Dutch pronunciation also. It achieves a beautiful simply solemnity in treating allegorically the theme of death and the fate of the human soul. Next one. And the info continues, the author is unknown, but it has been speculated by scholars that the play was written by a cleric or under the direction of the church. It is now thought to be based upon a Dutch play, Everyman, written in 1495 by Petrus Doorlanders, a Carthusian monk. Next one. Light breaks where no sunshine is written by dash. Options are D.H. Lawrence, T.S. Eliot, W.B. Yeats, Dylan Thomas. Correct option is option D, Dylan Thomas. And the info is, Light Breaks Where No Sun Shines is a poem written by Dylan Thomas, one of the noted poets of the American Imagist movement. The poem vividly describes the effect of hope on a person where there is no promise for a future. And also the poem draws on various striking imagery of light, water, bones, blood and flesh to glorify hope and its power. There is a religious significance in the poem which makes it unique among Thomas' writings. Next one. Orwell's Animal Farm is about dash. Options are the animal world, the Homo sapiens, the degeneration of communist ideas, none of these. Correct option C, the degeneration of communist ideas. And the info is, Animal Farm is a beast fable in the form of a satirical allegorical novella by George Orwell, first published in England on 17th August 1945. It tells the story of a group of anthropomorphic farm animals who rebel against their human farmer, hoping to create a society where the animals can be equal, free and happy. And also, ultimately, the rebellion is betrayed and under the dictatorship of a pig named Napoleon, the farm ends up in a state as bad as it was before. Next one. John Ruskin dealt with dash. Options are architecture, the style and the society, clouds, mountains and plants, all the above. Correct option D, all the above. And the info is, John Ruskin was an English writer, philosopher, art historian, art critic and polymath of the Victorian era. He wrote on subjects as varied as geology, architecture, myth, ornithology, literature, education, botany, and political economy. Next one. Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities can be considered a dash. Options are sociological novel, buildings roman, regional novel, historical novel. Correct option D, historical novel. A Tale of Two Cities is a historical novel published in 1859 by Charles Dickens, set in London and Paris before and during the French Revolution. The novel tells the story of the French doctor Manet, his 18-year-long imprisonment in the Bastille in Paris, and is released to live in London with his daughter Lucy, whom he had never met. The story is set against the conditions that led up to the French Revolution and reign of terror. Next one. The character Maggie figures in dash. Options are Adam Bede, The Mill on the Floss, Silas Marner, none of these. Correct option B, The Mill on the Floss. And the related point is, The Mill on the Floss is a novel by English author George Eliot, first published in 3 volumes on 4th April 1860 by William Blackwood and Sons. And the questions related to the characters. So, the characters who are involved in The Mill on the Floss are continuous. Maggie Tulliver, the intelligent, emotionally sensitive daughter of a country mill owner. Tom Tulliver, Maggie's older brother, whom she loves in spite of his strictness with her. Mr. Tulliver Ferry, owner of Dalcote Mill, he is particularly attached to his daughter Maggie. Mrs. Tulliver, mother of Tom and Maggie. Mrs. Glegg, oldest of the Dodson sisters. Mr. Glegg, a self-made businessman. Mrs. Pullett, the second Dodson sister. Mr. Pullett, the gentleman farmer. Mrs. Dean, the third Dodson sister. Mr. Dean, a shrewd businessman. Lucy Dean, Tom and Maggie's cousin. Lawyer Wakeham, archenemy of Mr. Tulliver. Philip Wakeham, son of the lawyer. Bob Jacken, a lower class childhood companion of Tom Tulliver. Dr. Ken, Anglican clergyman. Mr. Riley, a local auctioneer. Mr. Poulter, Tom's drillmaster at school. Mr. Pivot, a new neighbor. Luke, the miller who works for Mr. Tulliver. Mrs. Moses, Mr. Tulliver's sister. Next one. What is called MCE in English? Options are signed English, manually coded English, manually decoded, A and B. Correct option D, A and B. That is signed English and manually coded English. The related point is, MCE is an essential means of producing signs that correspond to the words in an English sentence and English word order. In many ways, signed English is designed to facilitate interaction between the deaf and hearing community. Next one. Burlesque, prosody and travesty. What is common among these 3 forms? Options are, the literary forms originated by a common writer, or various forms of satire, commonly occur in the novel alone, none of these. Correct option B, or various forms of satire. And the related points are, a burlesque is a literary, dramatic or musical work intended to cause laughter by caricaturing the manner or spirit of serious works or by ludicrous treatment of their subjects. In linguistics, prosody, also known as prosodic or suprasegmental phonology, is concerned with the way connected speech sounds. Travesty is a crude form of burlesque in which the original subject matter is changed a little but is transformed into something ridiculous through incongruous language and style. ஸோ இந்த எம்சிக்யூஸோட செக்மெண்ட் உங்களுக்கு இங்கே முடியுது. இதில் உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது டவுட்ஸ் இருந்ததுன்னு சொன்னால் வழக்கம் போல் உங்களோட கமெண்ட் செக்ஷனில் சொல்லுங்கள். அப் டு திஸ் ஐ கன்க்ளூட். இதே மாதிரி நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்பெஷல் சண்டே பார்ட் 2ல் நான் உங்களை மீட் பண்ணுறேன். தேங்க்யூ ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் வாட்சிங்.